What's going on, guys? It's Caleb bringing you guys another tutorial today. We're going to be playing with strings and numbers, so let's go ahead and get started. Navigate down to Codecademy. There's a link down below if you're new. Alright, so as you can see, it's playing with strings and numbers, so this talk's going to be about strings and numbers. I'm going to go ahead and reset. We've covered a lot of ground so far. So many new terms, so much new syntax. Let's take a breather and review what we've learned. The first thing we've learned is a confirm and prompt. We can make pop-up boxes appear, confirming am I okay, and prompt are you okay. And the difference between that is a confirm will make you click a button while a prompt will make you type something. Data types. Numbers, examples 4.3, 134, strings, dogs go wolf, JavaScript experts, booleans, false, and true, and conditionals, if-else statements, and etc. To pass this exercise, let's first go ahead and see what it's going to be doing. If 12 is divisible by 4 and it equals to array.length, confirm this will run the first block. Else confirm or the second block. Is 12 divisible by 4? 4, 8, 12 is 3. Does 3 equal 3? Because ari.length is 3. It will obviously run the first confirm, and the second confirm will get skipped. So let's go ahead and run it. This will run the first block, and you got it true. So let's go on to our next exercise, which is math. We saw basic math before. The basic math symbols we've learned in school work here. Even order in which the computer understands the math is the same as in school. So what it's saying, just like PINDOS, parentheses, exponents, addition, subtraction, and so on. So parentheses control order of operations, multiplication and division come next, and then addition and subtraction are last. So some examples of this would be 100 divided by 10 evaluates to 10, Jane.length plus 5 evaluates to 9, 5 times 3 plus 1, but the 3 plus 1 goes first because it's in parentheses, so that's 4. 4 times 5 is therefore 20. Complete the missing bits of code to construct the if-else statement. Make sure the condition evaluates to true. Finish the else statement by printing out the strings error, error, error to the console. So let's go ahead and reset our console. John.length times 2 divisible 2 plus 1 equals something. So complete the missing bits of code to construct an if-else statement, make the conditional evaluate true. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and John.length is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So hopefully if the correct answer would be 2. Else we can console.log, and we're going to console.log our error, error, error. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. And make sure to add this semicolon. And we're missing an operand found, else. Let's go ahead and we need our if statement too. That's what's causing this to go off. Go ahead and run this. So as you can see, we got the green light. That makes sense. So if John.length, which is 3, times 2 is 6, divided by 3, so 6 divided by 3 equals 2. If 2 equals 2, console.log, that makes sense. Else, console.log, error, error, error. And we got the green light, so we're moving on to the module. Let's once again go ahead and reset our console, or our compiler. Let's meet an interesting symbol called the modulo. When the % sign is placed between two numbers, the computer will divide the first number by the second, and then return the remainder of that division. So if we do 23 modulo 10, we divide 23 by 10, which equals to 2, with 3 left over. So 23 modulo 10 evaluates to 3. And what it's saying here is 20 divided by 10 can go in 22 times. Yet the whole answer was 23. 10 can't go into 23, therefore there's 3 left over. So 23 modulo 10 is 3, not 2.3, nor 2. It's just the remainder. That's what the modulo is for. And you see a lot of programmers use the modulo, especially while making games, such as card games and video games and etc. It comes in handy, and it's a really important thing to know and understand. More examples: 17 modulo 5 evaluates to 2, because 5 can go into 17 3 times, but since it's 5 times 3 is only 15, you still have the remainder 2 left over to equal 17. 13 modulo 7 evaluates to 6, because 7 can go into 13 only 1 time, with a remainder of 6 left over, because 7 times 1 is 7, plus 6 is 13. And now what it wants us to do is use console.log and modulo 3 times to print the remainder of the following equations: 14 divided by 3, 99 divided by 8, and 11 divided by 3. Below is an example of printing the remainder of 18 divided by 4 using the modulo. So what we have to do is just console.log, and we're going to do 14. Make sure to put the percent sign and not the division sign, not the backslash. 14 modulo 3, semicolon, console.log. Make sure to type console, alright? I always have a problem typing that. 99 modulo 8, semicolon, console.log, once again, and do 11 modulo 3. Now if we go ahead and run this, we're going to get 232, and we're going to get it correct, so that's good. Let's go ahead and go to our next exercise, and let's go ahead and reset this. So why learn modulo? For one thing, it's good at testing divisibility. Consider 30 modulo 10. What does it return? There's nothing left over, so 0. How about 9 modulo 3? Also 0. 200 modulo 100? You guessed it, 2. Just kidding, it's also 0. This is fun when we combine it with conditionals. Edit line 5 so the correct prompts are displayed. Feel free to make the first number and every number you like. So, an example of an if-else statement with the modulo and the condition. If something, the first number is even, else it's not. So what we can do here, since we haven't learned variables yet, we won't get too advanced, so we can just do if okay, so I guess it wants us to make it even, so, or it might not matter which one it wants us to make. So if, let's just say 12 modulo 4 equals 0, it's 3 equals, not 2, then do this. And as you can see, 12 modulo 4, if it equals 0, it's going to print out the first number is even, because there's no remainder. It's not odd, so let's try and make it an odd number. So let's do 13 divisible, or modulo 4. It should print out this number is odd, and it gave us an error, so it has to be an even number. So just change that back to 12, run it again, and now we know it wanted us to give an even number. So let's go ahead to the next exercise, and let's go ahead and reset this. We've learned a few ways to manipulate numbers. What about manipulating strings? Sometimes you don't want to display the entire string, just part of it. For example, in your Gmail inbox, you can set it to display the first 50 or so characters of each message so you can preview them. This preview is a substring of the original string, or the entire message. The code for this would be someword.substring x and y, where x is where you start chopping and y is where you finish chopping the original string. The number part is a little strange to select. For the he and hello, you would write this, hello.substring 0, 2. Think of there being a marker to the left of each character like this, 0 equals H, 1 equals E, 2 equals L, 3 equals L, 4 equals 0, and 5. If you chop at 0 and you begin at 2, you're left with just HE. So pretty much the way Java and JavaScript works is whenever you're dealing with strings or an array or anything like that, it's counting at 0. It doesn't start off at 1. It starts it off at 0. And pretty much what it's saying is everything to the left-hand side would be the first parameter that is passed to the substring, which is the 0, is where you want it to start. So the first 3 letters of Batman.substring 03 will give us the BAT. And from the 4th to 6th letter of the laptop, we just do 3 to 6. And an easy way to find out the substrings is to take the number you want to start at minus 1, that way you get your 0 correct, and then end it by whatever your last number is as the same. So find the 4th to 7th letter of the substring wonderful day. So to do this, we can do wonderful day dot substring, and then within this we're going to do 4 minus 1, which is 3, and then 7. And what this should do, it should give us the green light. And let's see. As you can see, we got DERF, and that was correct. And if you get stuck, make sure to click the show hint down here. And it says, remember to start counting from 0. There is no need to use console.log as you are not asked to print it out. So we got it correct. There wasn't much help in that hint. But let's go ahead and move on to the next exercise. And let me go ahead and reset mine. So getting the positioning of substrings letters position is tricky. Let's make sure we really have it nailed down. Using console.log on 3 separate lines, print out the substrings for the following strings. Jan and January, Melbourne and Melbourne is great. Note the space, burgers and hamburgers. So to do this, let's go ahead and we don't even have to console.log it, we just gotta make strings. And let's go ahead and make the first string January dot substring. And what we want to do here is we want to get the Jan out of January. So we're going to start at the first letter, which in our minds this is the first, but remember the key is that the number you want, or the letter, the character that you want, minus 1. So we can just say C minus 1, and C can represent the character we start at. And the first character in our mind would be the J, which is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And we want to go to the third string. And we just put 3 because it's going to be our last character we want to stop at. And to check ourselves, we can always run it to make sure down here in the console if we get it right. But I'm feeling that we're getting it right, but just to double check, it doesn't hurt to click run. So as you can see, we got Jan correctly, so that was good. Now let's make another string, and I'm just going to copy and paste this Melbourne is great, and come over here and paste it. And once again, dot substring, and it wants us to get the Melbourne. So this would be the first one. And we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we should do 0 to 9. And let's see what we get from that. And we get the Melbourne. So that should be right. Unless it says note the space, unless it wants us to get... Oh, actually, it wants us to get Melbourne is. My bad. Thank God I caught that. So we said 9 was to there, 10 for the space, 11, 12. So it should be 0 to 12, not 0 to 9. If we go ahead and run this, we get Melbourne is. So that was correct. And once again, let's make another string and name it hamburgers dot substring. And we want to get the burgers and hamburgers. So let's go ahead and count this. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. It will get us to there. So 4 minus 1 would be 3. And then, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 to 9 should give us the correct output. And let's run this. We got burger, and we want burgers. Oh, my bad. So we got burger out of burgers, so it should be 3 to 10. And there we're getting burgers. And let's see here. You did not select the correct substring from January. So what's wrong with January? Something is wrong with January. So the J-A-N in January. That was correct. Wasn't it? J-A-N. Let's see here. Let's go to, we have a hint. We don't have a hint. So use console.log to print out the substrings. Oh, okay. That's our error. So we console.log, then we do our substring. So console.log, open parenthesis, and inner parenthesis, and it. Sorry about that, guys. I was wondering why we weren't getting why we were getting an error. So just put console.log around everything. Alright, now if we were to run this, we would get Jan, Melbourne is, burgers, and it says good work completing this section. Let's start the next section. Alright guys, thank you for watching another video. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much there with the console.log and the substring. I really wanted it to exaggerate so you would understand how to use substrings, but you're not really going to fully understand until you get in there and mess around with it. Play around a little bit. Read the hints to the left hand corner. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. It doesn't hurt to give the video a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. And once again guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, deuces.